Hey, aloha, Brother Richie. Well, the divisional round is set in the NFL as Wild Card Weekend wrapped up. In the AFC, Houston pounded LA as Justin Herbert threw more interceptions than he did all season. Denver gets on the board early and then gets skunked by the dominant Bills. The Steelers, their fifth straight as they get dominated by possible MVP Lamar Jackson. In the NFC, Jaden Daniels goes into Tampa Bay. Only the fifth rookie quarterback to win a road playoff game. Green Bay's mental mistakes and turnovers squander a winnable game at Philly. And the LA Rams dominate in their new home for the weekend as they have to travel to Arizona. Beat Minnesota 27-9. All that and more as we unpack Wild Card Weekend on your backseat quarterback. Something like that.
From the middle of the Pacific Ocean, it's high noon and high time that you tuned into the Spirit of Sports, hosted by Brother Richie. The Spirit of Sports is the flagship of the Not Pods family. Not Pods complete archive can be found at Not Pods on YouTube. And now for our host, Brother Richie.
Hey! Aloha and welcome. Brother Richie, your backseat quarterback, live from the middle of the Pacific Ocean. Wednesday, the 15th of January. Going to recap Super Wild Card Weekend. First of all, it's a new year, and, I take some constructive criticism, especially Dave Wick, so I'm going to try to be a little more positive this year. Still point out the issues, but, also point out good. LA Chargers, first couple drives, great. I don't like settling for two field goals inside the 20. I also don't like on third and short, don't put 11 guys in the box. If you're going to run up the gut, spread, 4 receivers, single back, under center, set hut. Not 11 guys in the box, 22 guys jammed in a phone booth and try to get a yard. I just don't like it. 5-7 step drops, no good. I saw this in Minnesota too. You got to change your scheme when something's not working. No can, bro. CJ Stroud first half and most of this year just looks a little off, little degression. Ball's even coming out of his hands different, but I'm going to tell you, that play, the fumbled snap, and he's rolling out, and most guys would just throw it out of bounds, and then you go down, you're 6-0 going into half. He throws a 30-yard completion, go down, score a touchdown, change the whole momentum of the game. So CJ Stroud, to come around, took the whole season and the first half of a wild card game. But Houston, any chance go into Arrowhead and give them a game, please. I called this game, and I dabble a little bit in wagering, $5-10 here and there. Smile, buddy. Yes, I know. Denny Dental, good seeing you, brother. But I called this, and I still bet on the Chargers, but there's Vegas sucker bets sometimes. When it's obvious, and I looked, it was 72 Chargers. And the spread 4 or 5 going into the game. Money on the Chargers. The Vegas sucker bet, and I even told my gambling partner Rose. And I didn't listen to myself. I didn't trust my instincts. But there's certain games like that when it's too good to be true. It's too good to be true. And then I also wonder, Jim Harbaugh, run the ball, establish the line of scrimmage, establish the run, control the clock. You draft Joe Alt, 5th overall, massive massive right tackle, got 2 of the best tackles in the league, got a great offensive line, and you only run your stud running back 9 times. You run the ball 18 times and throw it 32. That's 64% passing, which is a recipe to lose. And I just don't understand. You were never down in the game till like late in the third, early fourth quarter. You're up 6-0, drive the ball down the field twice, and then just abandon the run. And it just makes no sense. It's just, that's what sticks in the back of my head, that does Vegas have something to do with all this? And I hope to God not, and probably not. And I know the guys aren't payable, but, you know, threaten a family member or something. I don't know what's going on. But just like last year when the Swifties had to win the Super Bowl, and you can't call a holding on any other team, especially the Niners, like 10 of them in the Super Bowl. Don't call one. Don't call any false starts. And to make, you know, 100 million extra fans and $1 billion extra revenue, it's understandable. I hope it's not true. But when that much of the money is on this side, and then that team just does something just inexplicable. And I'll always go back to last year when Todd Monken only ran the ball 6 times with his running backs against Kansas City. And you're the top running team in the whole league all year long, and you abandon it in the most inopportune times. Just doesn't make sense. I mean, you take an offensive lineman 5th overall and you say, we're going to run the ball. That's what I do. And we control the line of scrimmage, and then you just don't. When you have a lead in the playoffs, you just don't do it. And, you know, I'm a firm believer. Anybody that can't run the ball, it's because they won't run the ball. You get on the ball and you say set hut, and you have your lineman in the 3-point stance and busting off the ball, you're going to be able to run the ball. It's a matter of believing in it and sticking with it and doing it. So Houston, great job. Let's go in and give them a game. Arrowhead, Geha, whatever it's called. And Deontay Johnson, what the hell is this guy doing? Brah. You going to hire Deontay Johnson? Going to pick him up? No can, brah. Cut, because he's throwing a tantrum in the locker room of the 3rd team he's been on this season. His 2nd team, he wouldn't go into a game. And you're hijacking your career. It's guys like that just put my brain inside his body. Please. I hate when talent is wasted on the talented. It's a sad but true. First rookie QB ever to start a playoff game for the Denver Broncos. You know, I just love a packed stadium. That place was electric. Highmark Stadium, Rich Stadium to me. All these stadiums that change their name for money. Of course, it's for money. They'll always be Rich Stadium and Three Rivers and Heinz Field. And the link is still, and, you know, Seattle Seahawks Stadium before, Safeco. It'll always be that to me. Parker Stadium. I saw a play. Buffalo, 4th and 1, under center, set hut and go, first down. It's just that easy. I'm telling you, I'm going to write a manifesto. I'm working on a book about how to coach and run an NFL team. And when you're under center, every second that those offensive linemen are in the 3-point stance, the advantage shifts to the defense. Every second, a little more, a little more, a little more, a little more. The longer you're under center, calling out signals, the more advantage the defense has, and you're sucking the energy out of your offensive line. Get on the ball and say set hut. You know, got to say, last couple weeks, it's kind of been nice not seeing or hearing anything from Patrick Mahomes. I'm going to be nicer. No more of the nickname that I've been calling him. But I'm not sure that losing 38-0 and sitting everybody for 24 days is a great way to go into the playoffs. I mean, I hope it's not a great way. Football is kind of timing. It's kind of football shape. We'll see. Houston, go in there, give them a game. That's the first game Saturday. You know, I still hate. No can mental mistakes, pre-snap penalties, illegal shift, illegal formation, illegal procedure, false start, personal fouls, late hits. When your ego gets in the way and your temper, these are things that cost you games, cost you seasons, cost you careers. Can't have it. Get out of bounds when the clock's running down. Don't turn inside. You're not going to break a tackle. You're not playing hero ball. When the clock is running down and you catch the ball, you're running toward the sideline. Just get out of bounds. Another huge pet peeve. You know, fourth down is changing. 4th and 1, 4th and 2. More and more teams going up to 4th and 3 even. You saw Washington went for it 5 times, 3 for 5. Jaden Daniels had a touchdown and a first down on 4th downs that saved them the game. We'll talk. That guy's amazing, by the way. Love my Jaden Daniels. Yeah, Denver. Touchdown, bomb. First ever rookie-to-rookie playoff connection for a touchdown. Just happened to be Ducks, but that's okay because they lost. Did I mention we made $50 million on the Rose Bowl? The Beavers and Wazoo. 50 million this year, 50 million next year, because they all left and we still get those rights. So we made $50 million into our sports budget and watched the Ducks get crushed. Thank you, America. Yeah, first series, 4th play, 50-yard bomb, touchdown. Then it's 32-7 or 32-0. Skunked. How do you not score again, Sean Payton?
No can.
41 minutes time of possession. If I do that math, it's like 18 plus for Denver. You know, they say you can't run the ball. It's because you won't run the ball. That game was close halfway to the third quarter. It was 10-7 at half, I believe. Run the ball. At least try. You only can't run the ball if you won't run the ball. Firm believer in that. A bad offensive line is going to run block a lot better than it's going to pass block. Pass block, your first step is backwards. You're retreating. Ha, Mach. Rio. First step, retreat. Their best athletes coming full speed at you, and you're retreating instead of on the ball, set hut, like a blocking sled. So, any teams, the only reason that you can't run the ball is because you won't. Let's move on. Green Bay at Philly. Worst start possible. Green Bay. Fumble the opening kick. Give up a touchdown pass 3 plays later. 3 interceptions. Jordan Love just out of sorts. I don't know. Not sure they should have been playing the week before. Does it really matter? They still lost. Still had to go to Philly. Guys getting hurt. Guys get hurt throughout this game. You're throwing to your 5th string wide receivers that can't get their feet in bounds. 3 interceptions. And yet you only lose by 12. You're within 1 score almost the whole game. 2 terrible late hit personal foul after the ball. Personal foul, automatic 15 yards. 1 would have been a punt, hitting guys out of bounds. And, you know, it's always the second guy. The retaliator always gets busted. It's mental errors, not a real well-coached game. I do love LaFleur, but, I mean, to get out-coached by Sirianni, Not sure. Too much pressure on the QB. Green Bay line. 3-man, 4-man rush. They're getting to Jordan Love. Quite a few times, 3-man rush, and you can't protect your quarterback. So, Green Bay, terrible personal fouls. Kind of a classless effort, gotta say. Why does Saquon slide, bro? I mean, go down to the 1, get those 80 yards. It's 12-point game with a minute left. I mean, go get your stats. Then it'll be a 19-point game. Nobody's getting 2 onside kicks in a minute and scoring 3 touchdowns. Go 80 yards and score, and let the fans go nuts, and let your fantasy guys go nuts. It's getting a little too much team-oriented. Or are you really scared to blow out your hammy? Okay. No can. Really starting to hate. Before the pass, defensive holding, automatic. Why is it automatic first down? Especially when the play's over here and the quarterback's rolling this way and the guy's holding way over here. So this receiver's running a route and he holds him at 6 yards, but the quarterback's going this way. But the flag's way over here. Give yourself a hug. I think it should be 5 yards, replay the down. And I think pass interference should be 15 yards. You can give automatic first down on pass interference. Defensive holding, let them bump 10 yards down the field again. You know, the rules, it's almost unfair. So, a couple rule changes. And no more. What Snowman, Dion Dawkins, he's pulling James Cook. He's grabbing his shoulder pads and pulling him. I can see pushing from behind, but I kind of can't see it. It used to be illegal. Can we bring that back? No more tush push. No more aiding and abetting a runner. That's a personal foul. Get it out of the game. When there's 8 guys in a scrum, it's rugby, and he's pulling James Cook by the shoulder pads, pulling him, not pushing. So time for that. Holding is 5 yards, replay the down, and no more aiding and abetting running backs. Thank you. Love Baker, such a competitor. Angry run. Bowled over a Hall of Famer. Brother from Seattle. I'll get his name. Yeah. Baker coming in and replacing, I mean, is it the biggest shoes ever to replace? Tom Brady, go to the playoffs twice, win a playoff game, throw for 4,000 yards, gets Mike Evans and 2 more 1,000-yard seasons. So much respect. One terrible fumble, and everybody's giving crap to the rookie center that snapped the ball. I think he thought that the defensive line jumped, and when a defensive line comes into the neutral zone, you snap the ball and you get 5 yards. They just didn't call it. No more shotgun handoffs and short yardage, and the goal line. Just stop. If it's 3rd and inches and you're in shotgun now, it's 3rd and 6. Get under center. Let the running back have some momentum. Hand the ball off 2 yards deep. These are the things. It's just common sense. Maybe a game management coach. I'm not so sure on the 4th down thing, but the landscape is changing. Can you imagine next week? So Washington didn't punt. No punts, no turnovers with a rookie quarterback. And they put the ball in his hands. They won because of him, not in spite of him. Just probably the greatest rookie season ever. But can you imagine next week, Dan Campbell and Dan Quinn, the 2 4th and Dans? I mean, there could be -1 punt, like 2 fake punts. 4th down. By the way, why is Baker trying to do? I think it was maybe just a fake handoff to the end around to the receiver, but you're on your own 10. You just rush for 7 yards to get out of the shadow of your own goal line. Why are we getting funky? Why are we having even a fake end around? Ah, man. I don't know. Yeah, 2 field goals issued by Quinn to go for it. 1 turnover on downs, but then they got the ball right back, and 1 touchdown pass. 4th and goal, or 4th and 3 from the 5. You put it in your rookie's hands. Big Chihu. De'Ami Brown coming out party, by the way. So, they got the Skycam thing, and they got there's 4 cables going to it. This was kind of a crazy one. I was looking at that and said, I think I've seen it once or twice, but what happens if a kick hits the Skycam cables? Not 3 minutes later, there's a kickoff. We have to redo the kickoff. It hit the Skycam cable, just as I was thinking of it. When you have a clear head, you're not waking up hungover, and life is getting better and better, and things start coming a little more clear. I do not like putting it on a kicker. There's a minute left and it's 2nd down. You're at the 15 and you're going to lose 3 yards to get the kicker in this spot. I don't know. I know you can fumble and you can throw a pick, but I say you go for the touchdown or try to get closer. I don't like the difference between a 38 and a 41-yard field goal. I don't like it. I don't like trusting that guy. If it's up to me, we just get rid of goalposts altogether. Let real men decide the game. And then the doink. And then it's good. Sam Darnold seeing ghosts again, by the way. So the game got moved, and my prayers out to LA. Everybody. Terrible what's happening. And, just what a world. What kind of effed up shit when there's no water in the reservoir and no water in the hydrants because you're doing some kind of rehab, something, but that just so happens when they decide to have a huge fire. Same in Maui. I mean, call me a conspiracy theorist, but some things is conspiracy facts. Like there's no way a guy from the 5th floor of the book depository had a magic bullet that went like this and shot through 2 guys. And he went like that and that. It starts there. So call me conspiracy factist. Felt like a road game for the Rams, really. A lot of Minnesota folks. Good job making that trip. Did Cooper Kupp even play? 0 targets. He had 1 catch for 25 yards. It's just Father Time is undefeated. Incontrovertible evidence once again. I mean, you call this head down, getting sacked, and that's a forward pass. The foot of a guy. I don't know. When the call on the field's a fumble. But, he made it look pretty convincing. Stay in the huddle. No, I was passing. And they look at it. Oh, I guess. I mean, a shovel pass to the receiver. Whatever. It's just, I'd like it to be incontrovertible evidence. Too many times, Big Brother just might work for Vegas. And, bro, don't flip into the end zone. I mean, if a guy's right on your heels, you need to get away and you jump in the end zone and find one thing, but flipping into the end zone just to be cool. You know, Lamar Jackson a couple years ago almost broke his ribs flipping into the end zone. Do we not learn? I know it's a look at me sport and it's an ego sport, but some ego needs to be swallowed. Sam Darnold played himself out of a lot of money. I don't know. I think 16 games minus the last two is worthy of franchise tag him for 40. Keep JJ. Now you're a mentor. You know you can win games. When JJ's ready, come in. Then you got a good backup. I don't think you just let him walk. But if he would have played well in either of these two games, probably gets 3-4 million, 120, or 3 years, 120. Fourth and 2 in Minnesota. KOC, Kevin O'Connell. You have to adjust your scheme when it's not working. 5 to 7 step drops were not working, and just continue to do it, holding the ball too long. 3-step slant out, screens, bubble screen, run the ball. You know, game management assistant coach. Anyone? Dynamic kickoff. So there's 32.8 of kicks were returned this year, 21.8 last year. So 10% more. So 332 returns this year out of 1,000, 219 last year. 100 and some more returns. Almost exact. Last year, 25.6 yard line average. 25 is a touchback. This year, 29.7. 30 is a touchback. So pretty much every kick's a touchback. If you don't want that, put the kicker back 10 more yards. I'd like more returns. It's exciting. Thought that's why it was dynamic kickoff, make more returns. And it did a little bit. There were 7 touchdowns, though, as opposed to only 2 last year. So I guess a little more dynamic, but still like 70% touchbacks. And remember that first game of the year when Baltimore, like 4 of the first 5 plays, lined up illegal, illegal formation, lined up in the backfield, time after time, but of course never on Jawan Taylor for KC. I mean, he does that every single play and jumps a snap count, but that's KC Swift refs. But remember that first game? I see it every single play, every single game, tackles, tight ends lined up enough off the ball that, I mean, just get rid of it. Big effing deal. Or, I guess you got to have it because it's something that the offense has to do, give the defense a chance. But either call it all the time or don't. Saw a coffin corner kick by the Rams, went out of the 3. What's wrong with that? Coffin corner kick. 70s, 80s, it was a staple. Ray Guy. Come on. Well, I guess now guys just fair catch at the 3, so might as well just kick it to the 3. Back in my day, you stood your heels on the 10-yard line. If it goes over your head, take the chance. Now guys just 2-yard line, fair catch. What the? Okay. QB late slides, they're tough to officiate. QBs just get down. We want to keep them safe. So then, like when Patrick Mahomes goes toward the sideline, nobody can hit him. Just, drill that effing guy. Please. I wish you'd have done it in the last 2 of the 3 regular season games. Do it in the playoffs. No more of that. Okay, people. Factist. Christopher. Yes, I am live. Christopher Pinkerton. Good seeing you, everybody that came on. KT. Hey, Christopher, Chris Crazy, Rio, Mike, and the millions of others. I'm sure there's a billion. So, too low. Come on. I don't know. I'm going to call it a day, half hour. That's about what I like to do now. I'll be back next week and we will unwrap divisional round, see how bad it was with the KC Swift Rift factists, conspiracy factists. And I'm still on it. If the shit stays the same and the KC Swift refs are in the Super Bowl, I will not watch. I promise. Okay. Did you know, by the way, Minnesota is the oldest sports franchise in North America not to have a championship? Out of NBA, NFL, Major League Baseball, and the NHL. The oldest team not to have a championship. So I'm rooting for you, Minnesota faithful. Brother Richie, signing off. Aloha and ahuiho.